Good morning. Well, it's a question that many people have is, what is the difference between all these weather models that we use to create the forecast each and every day? Maybe you've heard of a few of these models, such as the GFS, the Euro model, which also is known as the ECMWF, the NAM, RPM. So these are all different models, and there are many more that we do look at to create different forecasts. So here's just a few images of what this may look like. This is what the GFS looks like. This is a run from a few days ago, in fact, so it's not current data. And then, of course, here is the Euro as well. So it is going to show you there are some slight differences in what we look at, but overall, they are fairly similar. So what makes us use one over the other? Well, it all depends on what information is put into these different weather models. Now, it requires a lot of math and physics, and different institutions, such as by the government or the National Weather Service, put in different algorithms based on storm patterns that they see. So it is going to be a lot of math and physics that we use on a daily basis throughout here in the weather world to put that through. And we use a lot of math, physics, and calculus to help make those different algorithms that you do see. So depending on the model, it depends on the different biases. So here's a look at some of just the general equations that get put into each and every model. Now, the Euro uses some slightly different algorithms because they look at different storm-based patterns versus us here in the United States. That's what makes it a little bit differently. So there are different biases between the models. Now, the Euro typically predicts storm pattern shifts better on later into the forecast period, typically after 5 days. The GFS that we use here in the United States has more model runs during the day. So if you want more current runs of what may happen, the GFS is the way to go, especially for the near-term forecast. And of course, there is a bias in temperatures. The GFS that we use here in the United States tends to keep things a little bit cooler than what the Euro does, and the Euro tends to underestimate precip. So when it comes down to the bottom line of which one that we use to create your forecast, well, it requires a lot of our own knowledge and background that we've gone through in school. So it requires a lot of the physics and calculus that we know what kind to expect, what pattern recognition that we do see, and of course that will play a part in what we use. So it all requires a little bit of some math and physics. So that is a look at why we use different weather models and which ones we use. But for a look at our forecast of what's going on here in Michigan, we're going to turn things over to Joe Charlevoix.